Hello there! Southwest is rethinking, possibly, assigning seats. Disney is wishing upon another type of star. And we've got what's up in Amsterdam. All that and a lot more as we get ready for May National Travel Advisor Month. Coming up right now on Love Travel, Live Travel. Starting now. Hey, see, you gotta pretend like there's this big audience back there, like, hey. Hey there, and welcome to Love Travel, Live Travel, the show for those of us who love travel so much that we chose to live in it.
That's right. Decided to live it.
Decide to live the dream, right?
Living it every day.
I am one of your hosts, Joshua Harrell, and I am joined by my co-pilot, Mr. Jason Block. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm great. How are we doing, everybody?
I think we're going to hear from them in the chat, especially if they have joined us live. Please drop your hellos, where you're watching us from. But also, if you go to the very top of the chat, you'll see today's question of the day. And that question is, what do you collect during your travels? So get your answers in. We're going to talk about that. But I want to address the purple palm tree in the room. What's this top happening over here?
Oh, am I the purple palm tree? You know, I've had a lot of nicknames in my life. I did not need that one.
You did kind of look a little lost. You're like, what?
Oh, we're talking about me. Okay. Fabulous. That's wonderful.
But see, you could turn it around because I am doing like a psychedelic cow right now.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a
I
cow
was kind
plant.
of going more with like a map from the 80s. Like these are continents.
Yeah.
Oh.
But 80s because it's
This
kind
is
of
my
stained. and
continental shirt.
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
a really walking globe.
Yeah, I love
Not
it.
a globe, not to mean...
Yeah,
no,
I feel like a walking
that's a
globe
bad
right
reference.
now. Anyway.
A walking wall map? No, I am celebrating, though. I am celebrating. I'm excited. I'm off the clock. It's Friday afternoon, and that's... Well, like, we work hard all week, right? For those of you joining live, 4 p.m. Eastern, he doesn't, I do. It's Friday. It's time to let loose a little bit, have some fun, share our wins, share some things that might be frustrating us a little bit. That's okay. But when it comes time for Love Travel, Live Travel, it's time to kick back, relax, start the weekend right. And I, tomorrow, am heading to the Caribbean. I have my Caribbean/Hawaiian shirt on. I'm ready to go.
I love it.
I'm ready.
You're giving
I'm
me
ready.
Tom Cruise cocktail, like you're gonna...
The first and
Aruba,
only time that you will ever hear a comparison of Tom Cruise and I in the same sentence. Thank you.
No, I love it.
appreciate
I
that.
just, I love that you are bringing a very Caribbean vibe.
Yeah.
So...
We need a little reggae. You have any reggae there, Producer
So,
Evan?
so if you see us
No.
look at Producer Evan, he's supposed to be there with granting all our wishes and dreams, right? There, but he did say, "Come on, show some emotion." So please, wherever you are watching this, please make sure you like, love, and don't forget to subscribe and turn those notifications on. And Producer Evan likes to remind us every once in a while. You're going to see whenever anything pops up on the screen, that is Producer Evan. And then whatever sound, and that is definitely Evan. He does
hold that against your
cartwheels.
hosts.
He does cartwheels and he says yeehaw all the time. That Producer Evan.
And he has a little bell.
He does have a little belt, like on his neck.
Oh
No, it's the ring-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, his ring-a-ling-a-ling.
There
Yeah,
it is.
that's the piano.
Oh, is it?
He's tickling the ivories. And then right behind camera one is producer Christopher, who's waving, but he's not on camera. So Jason and I have talked about this, and we're thinking that there needs to be a pre-show show, right?
Or a post-show show.
Oh.
Or maybe just part of the main show. We'll see.
Oh. Maybe we'll do full 360 cameras.
I think that might be fun.
There's quite a few. I don't know.
We have so much fun getting ready for the show. We have a little half hour during the week where we talk about okay, what are we going to talk about and
Yeah.
so forth. It's not scripted, but just a general idea. And we have so much fun, at least I do, during that 30 minutes. That we're like, this should be they all hate it. This will never happen.
No, you have fun. I'm like, where's my
fun.
cards?
But anyway, okay.
There's a little banter back and forth, but anyway, yeah, a lot of fun. But we'll keep on. I feel like producer Paul, producer Christopher, and of course producer Evan need to be on camera because it's a part of the show. We couldn't do it without them.
I think so.
So, want to get some answers
Yes.
from you guys at home on today's question, which is, what do you collect on your travels? And I have a feeling before I even look at the comments, someone's going to say memories. Aw, that was sweet. It was Stacy. I knew somebody was going to do that. Stacy, I love it. Thank you.
Stacey, we haven't seen you in a little while. It's good to see you back live.
Yes.
And chiming in.
So, what do you collect on your travels?
If we go to the beach, I do that cheesy thing where you get a little bottle of the sand. I
Really?
frankly don't know where we put them or what we do with them.
I feel like we've got
I've
space
done
in the
that.
office for that. If you if Jillian wants to,
But I don't
get rid of
really
that.
collect anything from my trips, other
Okay.
than memories. What about you?
I'm gonna say it's memories, but I collect travel friends. I don't know what it is. I'm a very shy person. I'm very. Oh, I didn't mean to cause visceral reactions back there, Christopher. But yeah, I collect friends, and I didn't know that was a thing until I went on my very first cruise, and I was actually very scared because people told me that you'd have to like eat with strangers,
Talk to people.
and yeah, and then I found out that I loved it. I was made for
For
cruising.
socializing?
Yeah, for socializing. Yeah, so that I don't collect. I mean, I recently have started collecting things, Disney castles, which I think we've talked about before. So we're gonna bypass that. But I'm not really a collector of things, but I do. I'm with Stacy.
Okay.
Collecting memories. But I'm gonna hit the chat, and we've got attitudes and latitudes. Travel saying flags from each country, and license plates, real ones,
Oh, cool.
that they put on their dog.
I love that.
I like that she said real ones,
Yeah.
because you can buy the fake ones.
Right, the little touristy ones.
Yeah. So she's like, no, I'm ripping them off cars so I can put them on my deck.
I think that's fun.
Yeah, way to go.
I like
you
that.
do
Yeah,
that.
go.
I
Daniela
might have
said,
to copy that one.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can start stealing.
Well, now
license
you got me
plates?
thinking. What do I collect? I don't collect anything.
I know.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah, I mean, are you a real human? I don't know. I'm curious.
I didn't know we were going to go there. But
It's an existential crisis going on here.
all
Let's see. Danielle said, "Happy Friday! I only collect lots of pictures and memories while traveling. Pictures, yes. I you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I do like to take a lot of pictures, mainly of myself, but of sometimes other things. Let's see. Bill, good to see you. Magnets.
Magnets.
You know what? I'm glad that he said magnets because a friend of mine's mom, she was saying, "Oh, you go to all these cool places for work. Will you please get me magnets?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to buy you magnets." But she
Is that a
does.
principle?
She does collect. I don't know. Like I don't want anything on my fridge. There's nothing on my fridge. Do you have things on your fridge?
No, only because nothing will stick to it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, stuff will stick to mine, and I'm like, no, I want clean spaces. But no, anyway, I do get her magnets. So if you ever see me anywhere buying magnets, it's for my friend Diane. So yeah, magnets. Bill too.
Love it.
World via Chris said, "Happy Friday." That's producer Chris, shorthand there. Happy Friday. I'm with Daniela, mostly pictures, occasionally a cheap, silly t-shirt with the city on it.
Yeah.
I see like Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy those. I wouldn't say I collect them, though.
Yeah. while I was in Fort Lauderdale, some friends of ours got me like the flip-flops with a beach scene on it, like it had been airbrushed on. Yeah.
Okay, anything airbrushed
Yeah.
is a quality souvenir.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just gonna put that out.
But they loved giving it to me, and I love wearing it. Stacey has an addendum to her what she collects, and I love this
Making
one.
up for lost time, I like it.
Also, stamps in my passport. Okay. I did not expect, Stacey, thank you. I love that. I did not expect to be judged by custom officers for how many stamps I had in my passport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and to the point where now I'm worried that they're not going to let me in because
you have
there
too
are
many?
too many stamps.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, I know you're selling something illegal. Like, I feel like that's every time they turn a page.
Go to page 27.
It's very aggressive. It's very aggressive. Anyway, Jeff Bartlett said, "Happy Friday, magnets and a small trinket from the destination." I love that he wasn't specific. He's like,
any trinket.
could it be
will do.
any trinket? Could be any trinket, Jeff? Any trinket.
Can you think of a fun trinket that you've purchased? He's looking to the wall.
Yeah.
No cheating.
No, I can't think of a trinket that I
Yeah.
bought.
Well, that question
But I
went
do
over like a lead balloon.
Well, no, I know, but I went to the Dominican Republic and they had a little shop and it had trinkets, but none of it was locally made. It all came from overseas. So I then just went to Amazon and ordered something from Dominican Republic. No, Etsy. I went to Etsy and ordered. Anyway, that's just what made me think of. Lisa Hodrick says shot glasses.
Hey, now we're talking.
Yeah. Tall ones or short ones or all the different sizes? Because I think you can even get like boot ones too. Like,
All kinds of sizes.
So when I was a lad back in the day, I worked at Six Flags Over Georgia in the souvenir shops, and I can't tell you how many shot glasses I sold. It was a lot.
Were you like
There were collections of shot glasses.
Did you hold the record?
No. It's just I really like to line up my shot glasses on the shelf, and man, they go fast.
Really?
If
Is
you've
that
got
the-
a
is that the most
well
popular. What was the most popular gift at the Six Flags gift shop?
Well, T-shirts hands down.
Okay.
So this would have been in the 80s, 90s.
Uh-huh.
T-shirts hands down. Shot glasses were the affordable option, and keychains.
Keychain. Like the ones with your name on it?
Well, those we didn't have in that shop that I worked at, but they had it in the finer gift. I was in the souvenir shops.
Wait a minute.
I was in a gate shop. So they have
The
big
keychains with your name on it was in the finer gift
Yeah,
shops?
it was called.
What
gifts.
did they sell at
had
yours? Like bags of sawdust or?
No, we also had, outside of shot glasses, T-shirts, we also had like wood carved animals and stuffed animals, like Looney Tunes. They had all the stuff. But we also had a row of bins that had like fake guns, sorry, and the little grabbers that you do the hand and it's got the stick and then it's got like an alligator or sharks, and so you had to send somebody through there to tidy those up all the time.
I bet.
Yeah, because
but the keychains were too fancy for that.
yeah,
shop.
the names you'd have to keep that too organized. That was too hard. But the reason why we asked this question is on Monday I did a partner spotlight with Bonnie Roshka from Chubb, and if you know Bonnie from Chubb, and she's kind of a fixture in our industry. I mean, she's she's a very unique individual. But she shared with me that she collects teapots as she travels the world.
Really?
And she has traveled the world. But they have to be unique. They have to be something that you can only get in Bratislava. Like it has to have been made there, and she gets it from an antique shop or whatever. So I just thought that was kind of a cool
That's interesting.
thing. Especially when you go to Europe, teapots, it's a very common thing.
Sure.
And she has been traveling for forever and ever. So
Cool.
that
All right.
I thought was very cool. Let's see. Amanda said, "Happy Friday, doing well from Charlotte, North Carolina." Thank you
Friday.
for joining us, Amanda. Love seeing that smiling face right there. Lisa said, also postcards. So postcards are good, and that's a great segue. We have a postcard for today. It's postcard time. Send it to Roswell, Georgia. Wow, that was divine inspiration there.
I want to make that my ringtone. Can we clip that up? And
So we have a postcard. So you know what I just said? Send them to Love Travel, Live Travel. Well, I already forgot our address. 70 Mansell Court, Suite 100, Roswell, Georgia, 30076. Guess where this postcard is from? Roswell, New Mexico. Hey! This is from RJ Bunch. Thank you for sending this, RJ. Greetings from the dairy capital of the Southwest and interstellar destination.
that's fantastic.
Isn't that fantastic?
So I knew like the alien thing from Roswell, right?
Right.
But I had no idea they were known for dairy.
It's the dairy capital of the
that's what RJ said.
Southwest. Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You know
Did
what?
You know that?
So postcards are not only to capture memories; they're to educate.
That's right.
And RJ just educated us.
He did.
Now,
Let's see the-
yeah, I've got to ask you though. Speaking of aliens, and as Evan said, Area 54.
Thank you, RJ. Yeah.
We called it
Area 54? No, that was
Studio 54.
Yes. That was a different thing.
What do you think about aliens?
Like, are they real? Or
I mean,
yeah.
What's your opinion of aliens?
It's kind of an open-ended question.
It's good for interviews, right?
We should ask our upcoming guest.
Okay. Was that a hard deflection there?
No, I totally believe there is like life on other planets somewhere out there. Now it might be like, 2 billion light years away, but
yeah. Well, I love to show.
Or it might be right on the other side of the moon.
Like the Transformers.
Hey, did you see that movie where the moon was like an alien craft and it was hollow inside?
Wasn't it the Transformers one? Wasn't it that like the
The one I'm thinking about wasn't. I think there was a Transformers about that, but this was a different one. Like the whole premise was that there was like it was like one of those disaster apocalypse kind of movies, but really it was all being caused by this alien craft that was like inside the moon and it had been dormant for 1 million years or whatever.
I didn't see that one.
That's one of those airplane movies.
Not the comedy airplane movies.
No.
Yeah.
Like a movie that you watch on an airplane because there's.
Well, but what I learned recently is somebody cried watching Wonka on the plane, and that was not him. So don't think I'm like trying to blow up his spot. But I couldn't get past the first song. So.
I cried laughing.
Oh, really?
I find it very funny, yes.
Okay, well, I might give it a go. I watched a show called Roswell, New Mexico on Netflix. It was originally on CW. And that made me think very differently about aliens. So I definitely think that they're here already.
Maybe in this room.
Maybe. I love it. Let's see. Sean joins us and says, "I collect artwork, local prints, signifying the destination."
Oh.
That's very sophisticated
It
of you,
is.
Sean. I mean,
Sean is a multifaceted.
like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. He's multifaceted. Yeah. Let's see. Amanda said, "Shot glasses, magnets, and I used to collect postcards." Amanda just said, "I collect a lot. Like, come to my house and you're going to see a lot." Capturing memories physically with everything. I love it. Laura said, "Happy Friday. I tend to pick up a fun coffee mug in my travels." I'd like to see that on a meeting with her. Like, every day, her have a different coffee mug, maybe.
mug.
I think that would be kind of fun. Terry said, "Christmas ornaments." That is...
Oh, yeah, fun.
Yeah, that is a fun one.
bet.
In fact, our Amy said that she went to Paris and she didn't get any Olympics merchandise, but she does because she purchased some ornaments. She thinks she ended up getting some ornaments.
Oh yeah.
But she won't find out until the holidays come around. What is going on over there, Christopher? I don't know if he's going to sleep on me. I don't know what's happening. Follow the Second Star said... oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Follow the Second Star said beer coasters and Christmas ornaments. I collect travel friends too, but not other Americans preferably. I like to make friends in the destination.
More discerning tastes.
I like that a lot. Oh my goodness. Well, we've got some things to talk about, don't we? And we're going to come back to the chat, so keep the chat coming, guys. We're going to come back to it. But I kind of teased at the top.
Yes.
I don't think you were here. You took a couple of days off, so we missed a couple of shows. But we were talking about how Delta was going to go back to the way they used to board planes, where it really was Zone 1, Zone 2, not,
Zone 27.
Yeah, Diamond, whatever.
Right.
And then we mentioned, well, then there's Southwest that has a secret system, and it seems to work. If you travel Southwest, you know the system and you can make it work. But now they had some changes, and they're shrinking their footprint, cutting 4 cities from the route map: Bellingham, Cozumel, Houston, I got it right, Houston, and Syracuse. They're shrinking their footprint in Chicago and Atlanta. But then they kind of alluded to that they might be rethinking assigning seats.
Yeah, or just how they board in general. And I wonder if it's one. So this was from an analyst earnings call for Wall Street. And I wonder if it's one of those things where they're actually considering changes to some of their boarding processes, or they're saying they are, as a something that they're thinking about doing to improve their efficiency, but they're really not going to do. So I think it might just be a little trial balloon to put out there and appease the Wall Street crowd. But
very interesting take.
We'll see.
I just thought
they might.
I thought they were just listening to our show and they decided
they might. But as we were talking about, I think you made the comment. Hey, here's something we've done for a really long time that everybody loves. Let's change it.
Yeah. It's like it's a thing that they're known for.
Right.
It's just
I wouldn't worry about that one yet.
Well, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. The other thing is the DOT getting involved with what requiring guidelines on how clients are refunded or travelers are refunded, and what was it? Looking for canceled or significant delays. 3 hours domestic, 6 hours international.
Yep. If you have to change airports unexpectedly, if you have to add an extra connection that you didn't know about, if you get downgraded,
that's
some other accessibility.
Yeah. So, but there, in discussing it as a group and kind of digging into the articles, there's just a lot of information to process on this. And I'm curious.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this is helpful? Not necessary? Who cares? I'm kind of interested because it was a lot of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to hear what everybody thinks, but we heard about this a few days ago when it came out, and I've been thinking about it. Like, okay, how is this going to impact travel generally and advisors specifically? And I can't help but come to the point of, okay, if I as an airline, well, first of all, let's back up, right? This whole thing, I think, is just about getting documented standards, because a lot of airlines do these things anyway. They just don't all do it exactly alike.
Right. So
right?
each
saying let's have a common set of rules, which on the surface, great, right? But you think about now, by regulation, you have a flight that is delayed. Let's say a flight from here to Detroit is delayed, and you hit that 3-hour mark, now by regulation, the airline has to issue a refund, and not in credit, in cash, or refund to the form of payment, if they have that 3-hour delay. Well, and let's say if they're required to give that refund, 25% of the plane says, I'm just going to take my refund and I'll fly another time. Mm-hmm. So now you got a plane that's 3/4 empty. Mm. Or a quarter empty, sorry. So is the airline now all of a sudden going to mess up their yield because they had to issue this refund? Or are they just going to straight cancel the flight?
Right.
Probably just straight cancel the flight. So it's going to be, I think, very interesting. And the other thing you think about, even if they legitimately have to cancel the flight, mm-hmm. right? And so up until now, a lot of airlines said, hey, we'll give you credit, right? Mm-hmm. If they have to legitimately cancel the flight, or even, hit that delay time limit and cancel it, there's costs that they incur during check-in, baggage handling, and so forth, right?
Right.
So now what happens to that cost? It's still going to be spread across all of their revenue, right? So what's going to happen as a result of this?
Tickets are going to go up.
Precisely.
You're going to start walking on a
It'll
plane
be more expensive to fly.
Yeah.
So is it bad? Not necessarily, but it's not going to make flying cheaper. I'm pretty confident of that.
That's a good point.
So,
well, we shall wait to see. That's kind of like Southwest and their seats, their seating assignment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we shall see. Well, I want to throw another question out to the audience. So, what is the most interesting thing that you've done to get your clients excited about their upcoming holiday that you've prepared for them? So what's the most interesting thing you've done? It doesn't have to be something that you do all the time, but something that you've done.
Good question.
So I'm gonna just float that out there. You guys that are watching us live, drop your answers into the chat, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But I heard that our special guest on Love Travel, Live Travel. Okay, not really. Okay, not happening. We have got, I'm going to say Laurie Bohn-Isaure, Senior Director of National Accounts from Silversea, waiting in the wings. I feel like I completely butchered her last name, but I adore her with all my heart. Laurie, are you there?
I am. I'm here.
Look at her! Oh, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, I'm honored. I feel so honored to be a guest.
How are we doing, Laurie?
Good, Jason. I'm good. And just excited to be wrapping up a really busy week, getting to spend it with you all and your listeners.
I love it. So, Laurie, you left me out there with your last name. It's very French.
Oui.
Oui. Oh, I love it. Oui. Can you please pronounce it?
It's Isaure.
Isaure. I didn't do that bad.
You did pretty good, actually. I know. Listen, it took me about 3 years to get it right. And I've been married for 8, so, and I still get it right on occasion, but not every time. So, completely understandable.
I love it. Well, so glad that you were able to join us, and I love that your background is as colorful and fun as ours.
That's right.
Well, I was trying to get the right light because it's really bright in here, and I was getting all washed out, and I, in a last minute, did a switch, and I'm seeing all sorts of crazy things I probably would have moved, like the shark coming out of our front door.
No, you know what?
I want to hear about the shark.
That is
Forget
phenomenal.
everything you have prepared. I just want to hear about the shark.
My husband is shark obsessed, and we're scuba divers, and we like to dive with sharks. He much more so than I, but I love it too. I have no fear of it. And one of our favorite things to do when we travel is to include some sort of opportunity to scuba dive, and so many places you can actually do that. So it's just, he's like a man-child where we have sharks throughout the house, anywhere we can get them.
That is not like that. That is like if we ask the question, what is one thing that people don't know about you and wouldn't believe? There we go.
So, okay, I have questions.
Yes, sir. I've got answers,
All right.
hopefully.
The scuba diving, I totally get. That sounds like fun. The scuba diving in search of sharks, I do not get. Explain that to me.
Seriously, it's so much fun. We
Why?
actually dive, not in cages, not in chainmail. We dive looking for sharks. And yes, they could be sharks that could basically eat us.
Do you juggle fire and then ride motorcycles extra fast?
I bet she
I
does.
don't look like a type, do I? But actually, yes. Oh my! I didn't know we were gonna have sound effects. This is amazing.
Oh, it's a whole
that's-
thing.
Yeah, producer Evan, he's got a lot in his bag of tricks there. Yeah.
Oh boy! I love
Wow,
it.
I did not know this about you.
I know I'm full of surprises.
You
just
are.
never know.
I love it.
Everybody thinks I'm busy wearing my Louboutins and being all dressed up, and I can actually dress down and get to it on on diving and all sorts of other adventures.
I love it.
Why couldn't you?
And I love that you called your husband a giant man-child.
He is.
Well-
He's proud of it. People sometimes I say that my husband is like my husband, my child, and my pet all wrapped up into one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my wife feels like that.
Listeners is. And people have said to me, do you say that in front of him? And I'm like, of course I do. He knows it. So
I've met Laurent. He's an amazing guy. So I don't know that I would have said child and pet, but you know what? You do you, and it works, right?
I love the sharks. That's fantastic.
Yeah, this is perfect. Well, Laurie, so I was just over the moon when I first met you in, I want to say it was in 2018. I got to meet you for the first time. And then we had a wonderful voyage together down the river in Europe a little while ago. And I just enjoy your energy so much. And whenever I get to see you, we always have a great time. But can you tell our viewers kind of your journey through the industry?
I'd be happy to. So I have been blessed to be in the travel business for many years. I hate to admit how many because it might age me a bit, but I'm in 31 years specifically in travel and tourism as far as the cruise industry. And I started as a sales rep, and I was fortunate to get a field sales role from the start. And I'd already had a passion for travel. I had been a flight attendant, traveled the world already through flying, had parents that loved to travel, and we would jet set off on adventures and enjoy that. I had studied in London during my college years, and it taught me a lot about how small we are in this very large world, and it really created an appetite for travel that never really left me. So I got in as a sales rep. I spent about 10 years. Dolphin and Majesty was my first company. Most people probably don't even remember it. If you do, you've been around a while, and it was a great little company. I was there for about a year. Then went over to Celebrity Cruises when it was still privately owned by the Chandresses, which is another kind of trivial or trivia fact, not trivial in any way, shape, or form. And do you know why there's an X on the smokestacks of the Celebrity cruise ships?
Do you know?
I do not know.
No,
No.
we don't know.
This is important. Celebrity was owned by the Chandris family. It was privately owned before Royal Caribbean Group bought them back in 2000. I want to say 17, I believe it was. And the X on the smokestack is the Greek initial for chai or CHI, and that was Chandris. So it's the Chandris' monogram basically on the smokestack.
Interesting.
And they've never taken it off.
I never knew.
I did not know.
I just thought that was like, they're so cool that they just had to go with X.
The
X.
Well, they're all so cool, actually. Our sisters are amazing. We love Celebrity Cruises. But anyway, I was there for a few years in field sales, and then went over to Holland America and represented at the time Windstar, but then it shifted over to Seabourn as Windstar was sold, and then moved up into management. And I've actually been in management between Holland America, Seabourn, Royal Caribbean, and now Silversea for almost 20 years, 19 years. So it's been a great ride. I've enjoyed working with people such as yourselves, helping develop and grow business. I was doing it directly with the travel advisor community for a number of years in my beginning days of my career. And I think the one thing that's always driven me is that passion for travel and just really loving what I do. I mean, y'all, we sell fun, we sell dreams that people dream of, and we have an incredible job. A lot of work mixed in, but it's an incredible job. So I've never spent one moment thinking I could do anything else. I just love the industry.
Well, since I mean, you've been in the industry for a while. You've been around the world, and yeah. You've done it all. Where is your favorite place to visit?
That's a hard one. I'm going to say something that sounds cliche, but I mean this with a genuine spirit. The next place I'm going, because I think every place has something I could pull from it that I really loved. But if I had to get really specific, there's two places that I've done that were just beyond outstanding. The Galapagos cruise and the Galapagos Islands, absolutely phenomenal experience. It'll touch your heart. The people there are amazing. What you see there, you'll see nowhere else in the world. And nobody told me when I went that when you stargaze at night in Ecuador and in the Galapagos Islands and Galapagos, it's so clear that not only do you see amazing things by day, but at night, the sky lights up in a way that you'll never see anywhere else, or at least that I've never seen anywhere else in the world. And the stargazing is phenomenal. So that was cool. And then, of course, the bucket list. Everybody has to do Antarctica as the seventh continent. And I had the great fortune to get to do that 2 Christmases ago. And another game changer, just phenomenal. And yes, I did the polar plunge.
So, over the last couple of years, I've heard a lot of people talking about the Galapagos, but I've never heard someone focus in on the stargazing part of it.
Well, I mean, like, it's so magical. It's just something I didn't even know, right?
Well, right.
And what's really cool is, I mean, by day, listen, what gets better than snorkeling with sea lions that are chasing you around and swimming up to you, sea turtles that are so abundant that you're bumping into them, you can't even avoid them. Seeing the penguins that have actually adapted to the warm water that were once in Antarctica, swimming around and leaping off rocks, and it just the whole thing. These prehistoric looking creatures, just crawling on the rocks that blend in. The whole thing is phenomenal. But then at night, it lights up. So really a magical place. It touched my heart for sure. And I think everybody, if they get a chance, should do that. Really great for families as well.
That's wonderful.
So can I share something with you, Laurie? We have an audience of travel professionals that watch this, and oftentimes, we say being a travel professional and a sales professional in some ways is about storytelling. And I got to tell you, over the last couple of years, I heard, as I said, a lot about the Galapagos. And up until about 45 seconds ago, I never actually wanted to go myself. And now I actually do, because you told me a story, and it was specific and it was personal, and that makes all the difference. So I just want to call that out when we talk about storytelling. That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. But she also works part-time for their tourism board, so no, I'm just kidding.
Well, something else. Let me tell you this really quick way to sum up the Galapagos. So when we were going back, you go back via Zodiac to actually get back on land to leave. And one of the guides, who had been one of our guides, PhD, a bioscientist, amazing, and the whole expedition crew is just, these people are mind-boggling. And he asked us, what was the best part of this experience? And I thought for a minute, and without hesitation, I said, you. And he was really surprised, right? Because I just got done telling you all these cool things you see. And he looked really confused. And I said, to me, the Galapagos experience was like a coloring book. We saw these beautiful images and these beautiful sights and things that were life-changing. But without the stories and the history and the way you explained everything to us and taught us, that colored in my coloring book and made it all come to life. And I think that's a really great way of thinking about the Galapagos. It's just phenomenal.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, shifting gears a little bit. A few weeks ago, we asked our audience a question. I'm going to pose it to you. So, if you could have coffee with any historical figure, who would it be?
Gosh, a lot of different things flood into my mind. But I think as a female and as a aspiring female leader, somebody that comes to mind, which ties my passion for fashion with my passion for females and strong females, is Coco Chanel.
Ooh, that's a good
And
one.
That is a good one.
she was so iconic. She was so ahead of her time. She had such obstacles to overcome. And yet she became really what one could say the most famous woman in fashion, or certainly one that's had one of the most famous runs. And even today, when you think of the finest fashion houses in the world, Coco Chanel probably lands at number one, arguably by most countries and anybody you might ask in the world. And I think her drive and her desire to overcome the challenges that she had, and such talent and beauty that she wove into the strength, really, it's very inspiring. And I love her fashion. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And she gave us all a great rule to live by, right? And that is always take off the last accessory you put on. And I live by that every day.
I need to probably practice that a little more, but I love it. And are you sure if you're taking one accessory off, knowing how I get to enjoy your company when I see you in person, I want to see what you look like before you took an accessory off.
Yeah, I need that rule. I need that rule. I need that rule. All right, so
Reminded us of that LA Story, Sarah Jessica Parker, by the way. It was also in that movie, if you remember back.
yes, it was. It was.
It was Martin. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So thank you for being on the show, but we do ask, before we let you go, we ask one question of all of our guests, and that is, you're on a trip and you lost all your bags, and I have my magic wand here, and I can bring one item back. What would it be and why?
Okay, I know what my instinct. There's a reality response and the response that ties to. Well, you'll see. So I would probably want my hairspray. That's just being honest, but I would really tell you that I'd be crying if I lost my Louboutins or my fabulous shoes. Because just so y'all know, I check bags on every trip I do pretty much without fail. But I always carry on my shoes and my handbags, and of course any jewelry I might have, and some hairspray, but with a big bottle in my check bags. And I would just die if I lost all my bags. I don't even know what. I'd be in such a state of panic. I don't even know what I'd do. So.
But I love you even more because I get hassled all the time for checking bags, and that's because I want my full-size bottles of things and my shoes. Yes. Well, you know what? I feel like I could grant two. So here's your hairspray and here's your shoes.
Well, I love you. I always have loved you. I love you even more now.
Yeah. When you have a wand like this, I mean, I'm telling you, right? Laurie, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you'll come back and hang out with us.
I hope so.
I mean, you got to come back to the clubhouse.
Well, if you'll have me, it would be my honor, for certain.
Oh, well,
we love you, and know that you are not an aspiring leader. You are one. You know that.
You are. Yeah, I did.
Did you catch the aspiring?
I did catch that, and I was like, you are a leader.
Aspiring.
So on that amazing leader, Laurie, take care of yourself and have a wonderful weekend. And give Laurent a big kiss and say, let's go get some sharks. Let's go hang out with some sharks. All right.
All right.
Bye now.
Laurie.
Thanks.
I love the sharks too.
She's fantastic.
She is fantastic. You know what? That is the great thing about technology, is we now have the ability to just beam into everyone's house. Zoop. And we can see what what's going on behind the scenes, right? I think this is very indicative of us back behind the wall. This is our life back here.
All this?
Yeah. Thank you for going along with that.
Sure. I'm like, wait, what's back there?
Yeah, you're like, let me check. One story that I found was very interesting, or we found very interesting as we got together yesterday, is that Walt Disney World, in the Grand Floridian, the Victoria and Albert restaurant, which we've both eaten at, obtained a Michelin star.
Yeah, how about that?
It is I mean, that's a big deal. I've only eaten at one Michelin star, and it was not good. It was in Croatia.
Now, longtime viewers know that you are a man of luxury. So
I
I find
am.
it, frankly, a little hard to believe that you have only dined at one Michelin star restaurant.
It's true. It's true. There's a lot of squid stuff happening in that restaurant.
But we were talking about this, and it's the first time Disney's received this kind of award. And we were saying, does this classify as maybe the first theme park Michelin star? But then it's not in a theme park.
It isn't.
It's
It's right
it's near a theme
there.
park.
It's right there. You can see the fireworks, but you're not in the park. But you're on the property.
So,
but you're on the property.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that there was one. Like Six
I
Flags
don't
over
know.
Texas had a Michelin star.
Let's see. We're gonna go to the good old Google machine.
Well, you go to the Google machine, but it is that time. It is time for checking in with Velma. Velma, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. There we go.
Good.
Good.
I've had a few problems with my audio this week, so great.
Well, Velma, before we started talking about Laurie, or talking to Laurie, I asked the question, what is the most interesting thing you've done to get your clients excited about their upcoming trip that you've put together? So I'm going to pose that question to you. What is the most exciting thing that you've done or that you know about? I mean, you've worked with many advisors all around the country, specifically in Texas. But what are some interesting things that you've heard of or you've done?
Well, we usually try to do something that would tie in with the trip. And one thing that's kind of memorable, one time I had a corporate incentive group that were going to Maui. And so about 30 days before their departure, we ordered and sent them all a bag of Maui potato chips. And they loved it. It created a lot of interest, and some of them. Have you ever had Maui potato chips?
I haven't. I'm very curious.
They're
Have you?
special.
Well, I've had a kind of chip that was like a sweet Maui, like onion potato chip, but it wasn't the brand. It was just like a flavor. So, is there a brand of Maui potato chips?
Yes, and they are made on Maui. They're cooked there.
Oh,
Yeah, I think the place is near Lahaina. But anyway,
that's
um,
fun.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And for families, we would say they were going to Disney. We would, in their documents, their final documents, we would give the children Disney coloring books with some colors to keep them occupied while they're traveling on the flight or if they're driving. And we would give that a couple of weeks before they went, and it just really created some excitement. hmm
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And something that I want to add is somebody we used to work with who worked in our retail agencies. Her name was Valerie, and she booked a trip for our CFO at the time, and it was to Mexico.
Right.
And he and his family had been to Mexico so many times. Like he oozed Mexico. Like it was like 3 times a year, like all the time. But I remember us meeting about something, and he said, "You'll never believe I got this amazing email from Valerie," and it was a little bit before the trip was going to happen. Like it wasn't like right around the corner, and it was just something that she was so enthusiastic. Like are you excited about your upcoming trip to Cancun or wherever it was? And it was just a real fun, punchy kind of email that it made him get excited about. I mean, he went all the time, but it was something special and it stood out, and it cost her $0 to do.
Yeah.
So little things can have a big impact, even to someone who has that's their jam.
In fact, right now I'm sending my wife hourly text messages with 18 hours until Wheels Up. Now, I wouldn't suggest you do that with your clients. They might get a little annoyed if it was every hour, but
No.
they might appreciate, just a 24-hour, hey, are you excited? You're leaving tomorrow.
But I
Another agent, a leisure agent in my office, that she would send her customers a few days before the trip restaurant suggestions, because she really focused on that. She researched it in all the places, especially Paris. Oh my gosh, she knew so many neat little cafes and places, and she would send them information about that, and sometimes even make reservations for them.
Cool.
love it. I love it.
Yes.
Well, just to let you know, Velma, in the chat, World Via Erica said, "Hi, Velma," and put a nice little hibiscus there for you. I don't know if the hibiscus is secret code. I don't know, because she is our Tyler Rose. But
I know.
No, that's a shout out to the last time we traveled together at Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. I had the hibiscus mocktail, and it was one of the best things I ever had. It was so good.
That's right. I remember. I knew there had to be a reason. That wasn't just let me pick a random flower emoji. I knew there had to be a reason. So, Velma, before we let you go, I'd like to ask you, what is something that you collect or have collected on your travels?
I always collected, down in the hotels, they'll have a tour desk, or they'll have a little place where they have sightseeing brochures.
Yeah.
I would always, before I left, go and get one of everything and take it back to the office, because we had a file of almost every city in the world, and we put those in there so we could give people ideas of local sightseeing. Sometimes there'll be tours that you won't see advertised anywhere except on property.
That is not the answer that I expected at all. And the next time I am at a rest stop or a
Grab one of
Shoney's,
everyone.
that's the only time I think I really paid attention to that. That is fantastic. I love that. And I love that it had a business twist. She's like, you know what? I don't really buy knickknacks.
But I have a suitcase of these
I have a
brochures.
suitcase of brochures about alligator watching cruises.
That's right.
Yes.
I love it. Velma, thank you so much for joining us this Friday, as always, and we enjoyed the checking in with you. And if you are a member of World Via, don't forget, and World Via Pro got the check-in with Velma. So this was checking in with Velma, but we have the check-in, which is your blog, which is phenomenal, right?
Very good.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a week that I haven't been like,
Weekly required reading.
Weekly required reading. Did you hear that, Velma?
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. I'm very grateful for that shout out.
Well,
It's good.
Velma, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week, all right?
All right, and you travel safe, Jason.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, Velma.
Bye. Wow. I am never going to look at those little brochures.
The same?
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be like, Velma.
Yeah, yeah. 9 out of 10 of those are for things that I wonder, how is that? It'd be like, here's a model train that goes to the ball of yarn. It's like, how is that a thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like you're into Memphis. And let's see the Memphis Model Train Museum.
I just remember as a kid going up and down the turnpike of in Florida.
Yes.
I just really wanted to go to, was it Wikiwachi?
Wikiwachi, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see mermaids and mermen, with hoses that have air. Like, I want to see what that performance is. Have you been?
To Wikiwachi?
Yeah.
As
Wikiwachi.
a kid, yes.
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 I want those pictures. So Jason's mom and dad send those pictures in.
I think it was on a field trip we went.
Oh.
Because
I want to know how they got that through the school board. Well, they will learn about the fact that there aren't really mermen and mermaids.
I don't know why. I'm questioning my model train museum because as I'm thinking about it, I actually would want to go to such a place.
Well, there's some pretty extensive model
I know.
trains, like cities.
I know. So maybe Velma's onto something. Maybe
No,
I spoke too
well, we
quickly.
know she's onto something.
I spoke too quickly, and now you got me thinking about you got me thinking about Zoolander. Did you ever see Zoolander?
No,
You,
no. I was raised by wolves. What
you,
happened?
you have homework. You need to go watch Zoolander.
That's what we're gonna do while you're away. So just in the chat,
Yes.
Our Bill has said Victoria and Albert's is the first and only restaurant that's owned and operated by a theme park to hold a Michelin star.
There we go. Bill has spoken.
Bill has,
And I trust Bill.
and
I trust Bill on this.
I do trust. You know what? Bill has not
Bill is
abused his
thorough.
authority.
No, he's thorough and speaks talks softly but carries a big stick. Right? When Bill comes down to something, it's to be believed. Most of the time.
Yes, sticks. Yes, got it. Erica said that she ate the best meal at one of the worst, cheapest Michelin star restaurants in
Cheapest?
Hong Kong. At one of the world's. Sorry, yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yes, definitely sounds really interesting the way I read it.
The world's cheapest Michelin star restaurant.
I know.
That's
I feel like Erica was just here.
I know.
For our accelerator
But
course,
I need more.
and she needed to be here for that story. I need. Please unpack that, Erica.
Speaking of that, did you have fun this week?
Oh, I had a ton of fun.
What a fun week we had. We had a class in here with a bunch of new advisors new to the industry, and what energy. And they learned a lot this week, but what energy it was. I don't know. I had a blast this week. Just having them in the building was great.
Oh yeah, they were so busy the entire time learning that I had to get to the lobby area, and I was like trying to shimmy across the wall, like don't see me. Yeah. It was more distracting to not be seen. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
Was that like the first time in your life where you're like, don't see me?
Do you know what? That's what I didn't like about having all those people here.
Yes.
Is they caught on to my shenanigans pretty fast, and they started razzing me a little bit, like you do.
You're wonderful.
In fact, Follow the Second Star said that I get hassled for checking 8 bags, not just a bag. Ooh.
She's always got a zinger.
She's always got a zinger. Oh my goodness. But
it was a great week.
Yeah, it was a great week. And guys, if you are members of Worldvia, please check Worldvia's Worldvia Pro, the event calendar, because we have the luxury immersion coming up, and we have the groups immersion coming up. And you get to come and hang out with us and learn lots. Your red solo cup of information will be spilling over.
Overflowing.
Yeah. You'll be like, but somebody else will come alongside you and get that, right? Don't want to lose that. Anyway, I don't know why that was my analogy. Sorry. It's the weekend. It's almost the weekend. Yeah, it's almost the weekend.
It's Friday. Come on.
Yes. Now, we talked about this at the top of the show.
Yes.
Amsterdam. So they have stated that in the next 5 years, there's a plan to slash river cruises coming in by half. Stating over-tourism, pollution, and to make it more livable in Amsterdam. And my mind is blown. The number that they want to get to is max 1,150 calls per year.
Right.
Which essentially is going back to where they were at in 2011.
Before. They were at, let's see, I think we have the numbers here. They were at 1,300, a little over 1,300 in 2011.
Oh,
and
yes.
they want to
so
go
that's-
down to 1,150
Right.
from about 2,100 last year.
Yeah.
So, that's a pretty massive reduction in the number of river cruises calling on Amsterdam proper. Now, what I don't know, we were talking about this, where is the city limit to where that cap, that quota, will apply? In other words, can you dock 20 minutes down the river and
Right.
and bus in or things like that? But it's an interesting change, and I can understand saying, hey, we don't want to see this massive growth forever, right? And I can see capping it, but saying, hey, we're going to cut it by more than half in just this short period of time, it'll be interesting to see how the river cruise operators cope with that.
Yeah. Just when you think it's safe to come back to the water,
I know.
bam, there is a shark called Amsterdam saying you cannot come here.
And did you see? We didn't talk about this during our pre-show, but did you see so Venice enacted finally their tourist fee?
Oh, no, I didn't even hear about this.
They had announced earlier this year they were going to put in a daily tourist fee. Now, if you're staying in a hotel in Venice, you don't have to pay the fee. You can show a little QR code. But they had massive protests, and I haven't had a chance to read the article about what the protests were about, but it was other Italians or local residents who were saying, no, we don't want this fee, even though they live. I don't know. So I was just interested that apparently it was not introduced smoothly. Let's put it that way.
Mm.
So more drama to come on.
Show me the money.
Thank you, Producer Evan.
Thank you, Producer Evan. That is exactly the way that we will end the show. Show me the money. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you had a phenomenal time with just all of this business. I mean, we have just talked about a little bit of everything. And thank you guys for our live audience for participating in the chat. That makes it the best ever. A big shout out to Laurie from Silversea because she was so excited to be on the show with us. And we had a lot of fun and learned a lot.
I hope you all enjoyed her. She's great.
Yes. So you will be back next week.
I will be back next week.
Sunburned? Or no, you're going to wear the surf hat.
Well, TBD.
TBD on the hat.
TBD.
I love it. I love it. Well, you have a great time.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you back here next week at 4 Eastern Time for the next Love Travel, Live Travel. Take care of yourself. We'll see you real soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.